everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel and Imperator Rome, Sparta. Thank you for everybody that watched that episode 1. I'm very curious to see how this series goes, as I'm sure you are as well. Thank you for all the views, the likes, and the comments on that first episode. If you wouldn't mind doing the same here, that will significantly help the growth of the channel, which has been honestly pretty phenomenal. When this video comes out, I'm recording this a couple of days early, but when the video comes out, it will mark the 6-month anniversary of me sitting down and going, hey, let's start a strategy, history gaming, RPG gaming channel on YouTube because I don't have enough stress in my life. That was before my third child was born, so yeah. But anyway, we are at about, what, 2,400 subs now, 6 months later. It's been absolutely fantastic. I want to thank you for taking your time of your busy days to hang out with me, kind of, and watch what I am putting out here on YouTube. It really, really means a lot. So, in that first episode, of course, we did a lot. What we didn't do was hit unpause, so that will happen today. We've got Pretender support, I'm not worried about that. Disloyal characters, we will do free hands. He's an Aegeid, so I'm not overly concerned, but that secures his loyalty for us. And now we will go to the political map mode, which is my favorite map mode as far as actual gameplay goes. The rest I'm not overly concerned with. I mean, the Atlas mode, it just looks cool. The Atlas mode looks cool. You can see the little guys going through here. You can see the roads, the ships going around. The Atlas view is actually really, really nice. But for the actual gameplay, I'll be honest, the political map mode is what I personally really, really like. Let's see, is there something else we've got here? Provinces, map modes, terrain map mode. You know, you scroll out, it becomes a political map mode. So this is a little bit more like, say, Crusader Kings. How that map is, you know, you scroll in and you really see the terrain. You scroll out and it becomes a political map mode. So maybe we'll just keep it on that. Usually I play on the political map mode, but we can keep it on the terrain map mode. So right now we are still building the library. And we are progressing in our mission here, the Helots of Messenia. So that will be completed here in a couple of months. The unfortunate thing here is that Messenia is still part of this defensive league, where also one of our allies, Argos, is a part of. So we need to really build up our power base first. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to fabricate a claim there. Then let's fabricate a claim on Troyzen. Perfect. All right, so a discreditable dalliance. A young woman named Meniske, of little note until now, has arrived at the palace in Sparta, bearing a baby who she claims is the son of Basileus, Arius the First Aegeid. After some cross-examination, it is clear that she speaks the truth. The child resulted from an inadvisable lark at a banquet. This information is known by only a few of the most trusted guards and advisors of the Basileus, and there's no doubt it would both damage the throne's legitimacy and upset the consort and any potential successor, Basileus. Make this go away, so the mother and child will disappear. We lose some money, gain some tyranny, loses legitimacy. But Kleino gains loyalty. We can keep it secret, but the child will never want for anything. He's not a jerk. I mean, he's disciplined. Obviously, he was not here. The baby has royal blood. That would be stupid. We're just going to make it go away, but we're going to pay and give him a good knife. All right, so there's a war in Greece. The Antigonids, in their hubris and folly, have chosen to once again resume hostilities with Cassandros the First, Antipatrid of Macedon, in a vain attempt to prove dominance over those known as the Diadochi. We can only wait to see what effect this will have upon the politics of the known world and how many sons must die to sate the bloodthirsty appetites of tyrant kings. So that's the Antigonid War. All right, so we are currently improving our relations with Macedon. We'll just keep an eye on that. And, of course, fabricating some claims here. These guys have an alliance. They have an alliance with their direct neighbors. So we could fabricate a claim there as well. Yeah, let's just do that. I want all of Arcadia. Helots of Messenia. Though our rights took longer than we had expected, the priests have returned with auspicious signs. The gods have acknowledged our rightful claims on Messenia and blessed our campaign. Laconia will be united under Lacedaemonian rule once more. With the gods at our side, the Helots are powerless to stop us. So we've now got the claims on Leuctron, Messene, and Mothone. So these guys are right here, but it would be highly unintelligent to go to war with them. Even though we are pretty powerful, the problem we have is they are part of this defensive league, and that would not be good. I mean, it would be good if we could somehow get Argos out of it. Is there anything unfortunately, you can't get them out of a league, can you? No. But I will ask them for military access so that we can have this campaign over here eventually. Let's see, what else do we have here? We've got people giving access. We can't add any more diplomatic relations. We are already in our maximum. Yeah, Megalopolis, that's the one where actually Arius the First in real life died. Is there anybody else? So these guys are not part of an alliance. They 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 are. So basically what the strategy will have to be is to go after those that are not part of any formal alliances. See here, there was a sea battle just off of our coast. Just keeping an eye on things, staying as far away from the Diadochi War, which I can't remember if it's going to be the second. I guess theoretically it's the third Diadochi War. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, of course. There were previous Diadochi Wars prior to the start of the timeline of Imperator Rome. So yeah, I'm sorry, this is going to be a little bit of a waiting game and doing this strategically because we're not one of the big powerhouses. Now, probably could have been, or definitely would have been more, let's see, it would have been quicker if we would have gone with Macedon, Thrace, or the Antigonids, one of the heirs of Alexander, but I wanted to do something a little bit different and go with Sparta because I just find them fascinating. All right, twisting the knife. Arius the First, for reasons known only unto himself, has begun to view Epicurus with jealousy and distrust. Even having them in the same room as one another is bound to result in hostility. So Epicurus is a rival. All right. So onwards we go. So now we have a disloyal character in Epicurus. That he's a rival. Can we kill him? Could. So what does that actually do? So it's... aggressive expansion goes up. Really? Interesting. And tyranny goes up if we kill him. So we'll abandon siphoning funds. Interesting. All right, so the Treasury of Kittitus Priapid. It seems Kittitus has gotten his hands on a lot of wealth as he has started investing a great deal of silver into building a reputation for himself lately. Though it is unclear exactly where he found these riches, his efforts are surprisingly effective. With his increased popularity, Kittitus has started vying for a more powerful position in Sparta, shamelessly comparing himself to our Basileus Arius I. We made you the commander of our navy. He will quiet down in some time, hopefully, or time to share with the rest of us. So that means Sparta gains tyranny and a little bit of gold. Kittitus loses loyalty, loses some money. He gains popularity by 10. Corruption goes up by 5 for him. And he gains some money. Oh, let's just hope he quiets down. Let's just go with that one. Oh, Ptolemaeus 1 Soter Lagid stirs. Whether Lagid, I don't know. Whether in defense of the tenuous pact between Macedon and Egypt, or for self-serving means, we cannot tell. All we know is that Egypt has begun marching on the Antagonids from the south. The future of Alexander the Great, Arcadia's once great empire, looks ever more in doubt. Wow, so it is going on with the... It is smackdown time here with the Diadochi, and we are just going to try to stay out of it as best as we can. A quick look on how this is progressing. So in 452, the 1st of October, so we have a long ways to go before those claims come through. This one will be the 1st of September. We'll just have to keep an eye on how those progress. And then ideally, we just gain power. Like I said, the strategy is to attack those that are not part of the defensive league. And then be in a power position, maybe even become a regional power that we can hire a legion, build up a legion, and then we'll have the military power to go after, because legions trump levies every time. So we have a disloyal character here. I'm just going to keep that up there. And actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to add him to the outlier just to keep an eye on him, just to see how it's going. Seleucid invasion. The conflict between the Diadochi is flaring up again, with the Seleucid armies crossing the border into Antigonid Syria. All right, so the Antigonids now are at war with Macedon. So look at the Antigonids are at war with Macedon. Seleucids, Parthia, is Egypt in there? I don't see Egypt anywhere, but I mean it's precarious. They're making inroads here on Macedon, which is really interesting. I mean, here in this early game, when you're a smaller power, it's almost like it's an AI timeline that you're watching. So it's very, very, very interesting. There we go. We now have our claim on Hermione, so we can do that. Still have a few more claims that'll come through here at the 1st of October. Revenge of the Furies. Our envoys bring news from Macedon, where it appears Basileos Cassandros has succumbed to the disease of kings. So he has gout. Of course, if you are following my Crusader Kings 3 Let's Play series in Al-Andalus and Iberia, we know all about the disease of kings. So here in a couple of days, there we go. We now have all the claims we need. Oh, there's news from Cyrenaica. After the murder of their previous governor of Cyrenaica, Ophilas, by his supposed ally, Agathocles of Syracuse, during their joint invasion of Carthage, it seems Ptolemaic Egypt is once again staking claim to the Pentapolis. They have dispatched Magid to oust the local rulers, who have taken up arms to defend their cities against the Egyptians' aggressive invasion. Interesting. So there's a civil war. All right. Now, speaking of war, we can go to war. Let's take a look at the situation here. So, Hermione, they're at war with their neighbors, and they're allied with Epidaurus. Epidaurus, they are only allied with them, and they are allied with nobody. So what we could do is declare a war on Epidaurus, march through Argos, where we have the military access. I think that may not be a bad move. Kind of bit by bit, we're going to move our fleet now. Let's move them out here. And once they get there, just let it tick over and keep an eye on that war. Like I said, we're moving them over. We're going to go over land to get there. We could, of course, use our ships to get there, but I just want to move them in there. Perfect. All right, so we're going to hunker down there, go down here. We're going to declare war. I'm not really worried about bringing in any allies. Call to arms. We need at least one positive and negative. We don't need to. So we'll just go with that. And we will raise all our levies. And march on them. In good hands. The ongoing war has taken up most of my attention, or the attention of Basileos Arius, as he leads our armies to inevitable victory. While Sparta does have bureaucratic momentum, there are many issues that await the capable hands of the legitimate monarch. In the absence of the Basileus, Consort Kleino has taken on some of his responsibilities and is doing her best to address the most pressing concerns. It's commendable. So she gains 10 loyalty and 10 prominence. All right. So now our soldiers are moving in there. These guys here, what we're going to do is let us hunt enemy fleets. Ooh, religious observances. Consort Kleino is a pious woman with great interest in religious matters. And naturally, her first priority was a proposal designed to assuage the vocal priesthoods, entreaties to address the worrying... Oh, God, a lot of big words. Their diviners have uncovered. I'm sorry. The hepatoscopies and auguries their diviners have uncovered. They claim that Zeus and all the gods are displeased with the Basileus and the situation in which he has left Sparta. Without his guidance, the gods themselves must be relied on to safeguard the country. Well, this is just what we need. So state religion happiness goes up by 5%. Omen power up by 1%. Charis gains loyalty. We lose a little bit of gold. And that's okay. All right, let's keep an eye here on our military. Maybe should have gone with the naval landing, but we'll just go with this for now. The nice thing is, if we can siege them down and win that battle, that means we'll have weakened one of their allies. At least that's the theory. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we are moving in. And let's just zoom in here as the siege of Epidaurus commences. Foreign claims on the province of Laconia. The Hellenistic city of Megalopolis has a claim on the province of Laconia. Okay, all right, we are in a battle here. And it looks like we will win this battle. It's going to be close. Very close. There we go. Victory is on our side. And we continue now with the siege. The sacking of Epidaurus. So we have now one. And let's have just some gentle looting. Perfect. And now let's go here. Sue for peace. And what do I want? Epidaurus to Sparta. Alright, perfect. The Epiduran Elite. Our enemies pass judgment on the important families. I think that's the key thing. The great families of Epidaurus. Several important families are known for having held sway in Epidaurus. Whilst we have consigned the lesser men and women of this fallen nation to their fate, we must decide carefully upon how to treat the Epiduran Elite. Let us welcome them. Have the rest crucified. Give refuge. All right, let's take a look at these guys. So we've got Argaios. Pretty good at martial and zeal. Obviously, the loyalty is non-existent. Then Makartatos. He is an orator, and that's about it. And then Orestes. He's good overall. So offer sanctuary to Orestes. And crucify the rest. Alright, so we have expanded our realm. Now, let's take a look at these guys. We can declare a war on them. We're already right next to it. And we could call in our allies even. Why not? Let's call in the allies. We are already there. We'll move that in. These guys will continue hunting enemy fleets. And we will bump up the speed now. Take a look at them, and off we march. I mean, they really have nowhere to go. It's very likely that we will win this battle, especially with the allies coming. Boom. That was fast. And now it is time to besiege this. So we're kind of island hopping or peninsula hopping. Charitable Contributions. Our officials in the province of Laconia report that they have been approached by some of the petty landowners of the area with donations of grain and other fare for the use of the state. Whether they were unable to sell it themselves or just model citizens, extra grain is always useful. Arcadia shall have it. So the loyalty of Arcadia, that is, of course, the province that we have just conquered. It's very important that we bump up the loyalty in just conquered provinces. Oh, we've got here Cyrenaica defended. The Egyptian forces led by Magas Majid have been utterly routed by the defenders there, with the Magas falling into the hands of their leader, Epimenes. The siege of Medrion was the turning point of the war when the loyalist forces stormed the wall successfully despite horrific casualties. With this stunning turn of events, the Ptolemaic dynasty is already blaming Magas alone for the disaster and will surely attack Cyrenaica in earnest once they have licked their wounds. The 112th Olympiad. So we could send someone to the Olympics. I'm not going to read all this text. You have the Olympics. We're going to send to Kittitus. Might as well send him. For that, we need a new commander. Philosopher in Sparta. All right, so a new commander for our second Nauticon. And our Sea Dog. There you go. Aratas, you will be there as our new commander there. The philosophers in Sparta, a new wise man has become renowned among our citizens in the city of Sparta, province of Laconia. We will have him teach us personally. Or let him roam. Yeah, we'll let him roam. All right, we are just about to win the siege here. And once that is done, we will have expanded Spartan rule across the Peloponnese. All right, the sacking of Hermione. Let the looting be gentle and 100% war score. We will sue for peace. Arcadia to Sparta. All right. So same thing here. I think we will pass judgment on the important families. Now let's take a look here. So Dionysius, he's kind of weak. Charinos, he's not bad. He's got good oratory skills. He's already relatively loyal. Good zeal. And then we've got Achinos or Achinos. So Charinos or Charinos, he will be part of us. And the rest, crucify them. I don't quite understand. It looks like it got completely destroyed in that war. Very interesting. Very interesting. So now we will disband all of our levies. Gain a little bit of extra money. Let's actually go into the economics tab. So the Olympic Games conclude. Oh, well, better luck next time. All right, where are we here? Economy. Let's drop our fleet maintenance. All right, war maintenance really won't matter much. Fort maintenance. Kind of leave that as it is. Wages, we can drop those. So we need to make more money. All right, the accursed house of Antipatros. More news from Macedon, where now Philippos, the eldest son of the Diadochi Cassandros, has apparently been stricken with a terrible illness. It's eating away at him internally. Ouch. Gains pneumonia and dysentery. Well, that's not good. All right. So, this is now Sparta. If we can kind of see Atlas mode, there we go. So we can see we've extended here, and it looks like the territory of Troy's in Arcadia in zone of control of fortress. Nicanor. A son has been born, but we're actually going to name him after one of our hero level patrons. We're going to call him Davidos. I know Davidos is not a real name, but we're going to go with it. It's fun. David could also work, but we're going to go with Davidos. All right, so right now, huge issue we're having is our research, our bad research ratio, and we're also losing money. Fort maintenance is a big one. Let's hit pause here. Go to the economy tab. So we're going to drop our fort maintenance. We need to make more money. Army maintenance at this point, it's no big deal. We have no raised levies. We could also increase our taxes, but our research points are really going to take a hit there. We could go transaction taxation, so the export value goes down, the import value goes up, or free trade, so the import value goes down, the export goes up. We are, from a trade overview, we are exporting wine internally to Arcadia, import, so we are definitely an import economy. That's for sure. We're not going to mess with that just yet. So let's just untick that and let all those economic policies take hold. So we're now making a little bit more money. We need to work on increasing our income overall, and part of that will be obviously investing in our province. So if I look at investing, let's go to our main province here. Let's just get an overview here in general. Administration, provinces. Now we have 2 provinces. Arcadia, where I could change, you cannot change the governor in your capital region, so it's part of our capital region. Governor policy here is local tax and province income. Okay, plus 9%, plus 9%. What if we change that to encourage trade? So that little province income goes, commerce will go up, local monthly food modifier goes up. So we'll just change to that, because that is also our policy here. That's what we're focusing on there. Now, if we look here, what can we invest in? We need to increase the output of our citizenry and our nobles. That is very, very important here. So that's civilization level. I mean, we can't really do any of these. We could do aqueduct, that increases our population, but that doesn't really help. The granary, so food capacity, goes up by 200. We actually could use more food. Local civilization level, pop assimilation speed goes up. Tax office. Yeah, do we need the extra food? I mean, right now we're okay. Population, province consumes 162 food every month. I mean, right now we're okay. The province loyalty is going down. So local civilization level goes up, research points goes up. We could do a marketplace, so the civ goes up, the assimilation speed, and the base trade routes goes up. Let's do that. Help out our trade down the line. So right now we're making a little bit of money, not a ton, but we've expanded Sparta nicely. But now let's take a look here across. Now this, basically, we can't use this one. Troyzen has become a completely useless one, and I think that's province, because I think that's because of the war that they had here. And they basically raised it completely. Let's look at Ellis. They have their internal wars. With Delphi and Amphissus, they haven't asked us to join a war. We can invite them into a defensive league. Can we do that with Argos? We cannot. Citizens for Argos. We are informed that a group of citizens are preparing to move from Epidaurus to Argos, one of the regions of our ally Argos. It is said having a better understanding of our 2 cultures could bring us ever closer, but it would certainly weaken us if all our people start leaving Sparta. All right, so it'll bring it closer, so the opinion grows. Those are our citizens, so we gain tyranny, which isn't really a big issue for us right now. Epidaurus will be a place people want to travel to, not from. So we lose a little bit of gold. Local tax goes up. Population happiness goes down. I don't quite get that. But let's... yeah, let's do that. See how that goes. See what that does. But anyway, let's take a quick look here across the Peloponnese. So, Dime, everybody has a claim on them. They're at a truce here, and they are at a war with Ellis. So Ellis, no, they have Casus Belli. What we could do here, let's see, what are these guys? Are they part of it? They are part of a defensive league. Defensive league. Defensive league. They are still part of a defensive league, unfortunately. Trying to look for people that are not part of a defensive league. So Pelene is not. Twisting the Knife. Arius, for reasons unknown. Okay, he has Anaximandros. Is now a rival. Great. Let's see how we look here. Whoa, that's part of the Antigonids. That is now part of Egypt. Egypt has a foothold on the Peloponnese. I don't like that at all. So these guys are the most likely candidates to attack. We could do a sea landing there. These guys are going to fall probably pretty quickly. Let's look outside. We've got Aetolia. They are allied with Messenia and Ellis. Then we've got, these guys are a client state of Macedon. They are allied with Delphi. And they are in a huge war here. What about Thebes? Grants military access. They are part of defensive league with the Boeotia and Elatia. Okay, so they're neighbors. Gonna find a good target to expand into. And that's just the difficult part here, is finding that right one. Mission task can be completed. All right, so Spartan Resurgence. Territory of Sparta has 5 or more buildings. Sparta gets 5 stability and permanently gets Spartan infrastructure 2 extra building slots and local citizen happiness plus 8%. Perfect. So 1 brick at a time. Stability is increased. All right. So we are slowly moving down this one. So what are the options we have? So we can still do recruiting the Sicturi. So this is 100 days to complete. We have the military experience. Territory of Sparta has an average freeman happiness of 85. Right now it's 20. So that one's not going to happen for a while. Then Helots no more, so basically we need to conquer our neighbors. Path to Olympia. So Liparion is owned. Where is Liparion? There. So that's where Olympia is. That's not a bad one. Reincorporation of Messenia and the Laconian League. Then we can expand the infrastructure, fortifying Sinuria. Perfect. So it's all coming together. But the main thing is we need to conquer these guys. But the only way we can do that is we weaken that defensive league. And by doing that, we need to expand internally. So we can call on an omen. So we can do Helen. So monthly ruler popularity gained by 10. Acantios, so integrated culture happiness, up 7.5%. Apollo, that will increase the national commerce income, or Athena with the discipline in the military. We're going to do Apollo. So national commerce income goes up by 12.77%. Perfect. So where do we sit right now militarily? 7 pops from Greece. All right, that's about it. Legions, we can't do anything with yet. We can't do any traditions because we don't have the military experience. So growing internally is the key. So Pelene, I think you're going to have to... We're going to have to fabricate a claim on you. So just slowly but surely eat these guys away. How are they looking here? They are... There's a Casus Belli there. We can fabricate a claim there. Let's do that. And that way we can just chip away at this pain-in-the-butt defensive league. Because we're in no shape or form in a powerful enough situation that we can take them on. So we may have to look outside of the Peloponnese for expansion. How's it looking here in general? So we have the Nesiotic League. They are a feudatory of the Antigonids, so we're not going to mess with them. How's Crete looking? So we have Lapa. They are... yeah, Casus Belli, just internally. Terithia, they are a feudatory... Gortinia... oh, not Gortinia, of... Gortina. Then we've got Eleutherna. They are a feudatory of Knossos. So one of the ideas we could have is to expand south into Crete. Or start gobbling up those islands there. What's going on out here? So this is part of Aetolia. They're allied with some of our neighbors. We just have to keep an eye on where we could expand to. But first things first, the ones that are not part of the Defensive League need to be eaten up. Then we need to keep an eye on how things are going in general. Let's look at the political map mob here. The Antigonids have almost completely destroyed Macedon. So those areas that are guaranteed by Macedon or are feudatories of Macedon are significantly less powerful. So the Antigonids are the big power here. How's the war here with Egypt and the Seleucids? So the Antigonids have landed in Seleucid territory, and they're getting eaten up by the Egyptians. Seleucids are still very, very powerful. Very, very interesting here. But we've won our first wars. I think that's a good place to stop today. We will get the claims on the north side of the Peloponnese and just eat away bit by bit by bit. I don't like being that far away from our main land, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers at this point. We need to become more powerful that we can take over Laconia and then kind of start completing that mission tree. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm still getting used to recording this for YouTube and talking and playing at the same time, but I hope it's okay for you. If it is, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new, not to miss anything here on the channel. Until next time, I'm Realm Builder Guy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.